Final Fantasy XIII wasn't exactly the most loved entry in the series. Seemingly panned by the majority of fans, it seems it's taken the official title of Black Sheep in this franchise. Though, oddly enough, I really enjoyed the game. I understand why others didn't, and that's fine, you're well within your rights to have your opinion, as am I, but I like the story, characters, gameplay, music, and there's no denying that this game is fucking gorgeous. Not that looks make a game, I'm just saying. I like the game. But every game has its roots, and Final Fantasy XIII's roots go back to the PlayStation 2, which is cool. Though some other stuff happened too, but that PS2 thing is neat. So today on Gaming Mysteries, I'll be talking about the beta of Final Fantasy XIII while sick. I'm multitasking. Go me. Now, development of Final Fantasy XIII started in 2004 after the release of Final Fantasy X-2 International plus Last Mission, which, by the way, that name still sounds fucking ridiculous after all of these years. But at the start of its development, the game was intended to be for the PlayStation 2, as I just said. But after showing off the tech demo of Final Fantasy VII for the PS3 and seeing all the positive feedback, they decided to move the title to the PS3 and embrace the pretty HD prettiness of the HD graphics look pretty. Although they made this transition to the PlayStation 3 though, very early assets from the PS2 prototype version of the game are floating around the internet, so let's get into those. Now, there are two different builds of the PS2 version, each looking drastically different from one another, as seen from these very blurry pictures, the best kind of pictures. One of the builds is kind of hard to make out, as in I can't really tell what they were going for with it, but the other build appears more, let's say, complete. In the other build, you can see that they were testing out the combat system, and you'll notice that in this version it appears that the characters are cel-shaded. Oh, and Yuna and Riku are in there too, though they were more likely than not just put in there as placeholders. It's difficult to make out what the combat would have been like, though it does look different from the final product's combat system. The battle UI, on the other hand, actually looks pretty similar to the final game, minus the MP thing. Ultimately, few things are shared between the prototypes and the final version, with exceptions like the mythology related to Final Fantasy XIII. But as far as gameplay is concerned, when the project moved to the PlayStation 3, they restarted from scratch. It's interesting to not only know that the game started on the PS2, but also see a glimpse at what they were trying to do with the early versions of the game. But, moving forward, the transition from the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 3 and having to start certain things from scratch ended up costing them about 1.5 years, and the game was constantly in a case of trial and error as they tried to get things rolling with the new platform. Now, the Final Fantasy XIII we know now was first shown off at E3 2006, but this was basically just a concept trailer that didn't necessarily represent the final product. Granted, it does show various similarities. The beginning of the trailer is more or less the same as the beginning of the actual game, with the sequence on the train. Granted, it looks way more batshit crazy and cool in this E3 trailer version thing. After that, we get a look at the mock-up version of the game's combat system. Of course, this was completely redone for the final version because this just looks fucking nuts. I can't even fathom trying to play an RPG like this with all the jumping and the cinematic. I don't know. But it's certainly pretty, so I'd make the effort. As time went on, we would get more concept-ish trailers that would showcase characters like Snow, or scenes that were either in the final game but altered in one way or another, or scenes that weren't in the final game at all. Speaking of stuff that wasn't in the game though, in an interview it was stated that there was enough content removed from the game to make a full separate game. Some stuff that was removed was the area around Lightning's house, a secret base for Nora, and a zoo. It said that all this content was running on the PlayStation 3 but was left out because of considerations for game volume and overall game balance. Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. Now, some people have said that the reason that this content was removed was because of the game becoming multi-platform and appearing on the 360 as well as the PlayStation 3. Now, a lot of these people were fanboys, so much of what they said was, I hate the 360, oh I'm sorry, I mean 3 shitty because that's funny and original. I made that joke myself. It's pretty good. But stupid Microsoft and Halo's holding the game back. And why would you even put it on the 360 in the first place? Because everyone knows that Final Fantasy has always been a Sony franchise, starting with the first game, number 7. And I didn't make that shit up, because there's some dumb motherfucker out there that thinks that this series started with the 7th installment. I would love to visit the crazy fantasy world you live in, motherfucker. Now, could the 360 have been the cause of this content being held back? Perhaps. It's hard to say, though, when the only people you can talk to about this are crazy-ass Sony fanboys that send out death threats if one of their precious exclusive games happen to go multi-platform, which, it's really funny to watch them freak out, but I hate talking to those assholes, so we'll never know. But that's the beta of Final Fantasy XIII. The game traveled down an interesting road, and ultimately a lot of people are unsatisfied with the final product, and, well, fuck them. You guys complain way too much for certain things about, I don't know, fuck them. I enjoyed this game for what it was, and I show no shame for doing so. I'll forever be hated for enjoying it, for some reason, which is dumb, but that's how life works. It's dumb. This has been Gaming Mysteries. Thanks for watching. Life is dumb. Hey guys, this is an end slate thing that goes at the end of videos that other people do, and I figured I'd do one. So, I don't really know how this works. This is my first time doing it, so be gentle with me. So, you just watched this video, but perhaps you would be interested in watching other videos, because, for the record, I have made other videos. Maybe another Gaming Mysteries is something you would want to watch. Well, lucky you, there's something that you should be able to click on, unless I fucked that up. And you can click on that, and it should take you to a Gaming Mysteries. But maybe that's not... Maybe that's not what you're into. Maybe that's not what you want to see, and that's okay, because not too long ago I made a new Obscure Gaming, so there will be a thing so you can click on, that'll bring up that, so all your bases are covered. I got you covered. We're good. And, you know, if you like the video and you want to subscribe or like it, that's your call, I guess. I'm not going to force you to do it. I'm just throwing it out there because I put that text down there so that I feel like I have to mention it. But yeah, hope you liked the video though. So I'm gonna have fun with these. I'm winging it. This isn't scripted. I really should end the video now though. But have a nice day. I gotta go. Bye.